Greetings. Hello, hello, hello. So, as most of you know, I am not a travel agent. I'm not a cruise agent. I'm just someone who likes to travel, and my favorite mode of traveling is cruising. So, having said that, I just want to share a little bit of not my cruise, but my parents' cruise. My parents went, my sister and her husband, her mother-in-law, and her 2 year old baby, my little nephew, went on the cruise and they went on the Mardi Gras. Now, my family, we absolutely love to cruise, and my mother is the real Miss Cruiser. She's the original Miss Cruiser. And we all like to cruise. Like I said, my uh, parents went on the Mardi Gras. That was somewhere around October 5th in that time frame. And when a week after they got off, my daughter got on the Carnival Magic. Um, my middle child, my daughter, my oldest daughter, my middle child. And coming up within about, I don't know how long it is, about 10, 11 days, and not long now, I will be getting on, I will be cruising. For the first time since 2019. I haven't cruised since November 2019, and I normally cruise every single year. So I did want to share, because this is one of the newer ships and the bigger ships, I did want to share some of their experience. So the reason why I said that I'm not a travel agent and I'm not a travel blogger or anything like that, so that y'all will not expect any professional. Don't be expecting nothing professional and high tech. I'm not really good with technology, and this is not a professional. Just me sharing some of the stuff that was shared with me from my parents. Okay, so speaking of my parents, these are my parents. They have been married 56 or 57, either 56 or 57 years. I'm thinking 57, 56. One of those. They've been married a long time. A very, very, very long time. And excuse my voice, it's in and out. I don't know why I'm hoarse. I'm pretty sure I'm fine, but for some reason I'm hoarse. But anyway, those are my parents. And again, they went on the Mardi Gras. And I think I've already said it was my parents, my baby sister and her husband, their 2 year old, my nephew, and my sister's mother-in-law that went. Okay, so, and it was a 7 day cruise. They went to Puerto Rico, Bahamas, I think it was Nassau, Bahamas, and Amber Cove, the DR. They went to Amber Cove in the DR. See, my memory is coming back. Okay, so now, I'm going to need y'all not to tell on me, because I'm going to play a recording of my sister saying what she liked and did not like about the Mardi Gras. And she'll know I'm going to do this. And if she's listening to this video, she's probably going to get me. Hopefully she don't get mad. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Here it goes. So she talks about, hopefully I got this in order. She first talks about what she did like about the Mardi Gras. So here it goes.
What I thought. There were a lot of things that I really, really, really liked about this ship. First things, like Mama, I really like those rooms. They put a lot of thought behind the color of those rooms. They put a lot of thought behind the lighting, and how they put the lighting and where they strategically placed that lighting. And even for everything from the little jacks for the USB charging right by the bed, and the little light, and exactly how it beamed and how bright it was, and to not disturb the person. So they put a lot of thought in those rooms. Even in the bathroom with like the glass, the door and everything. The bathroom was just as small as any other ship, but it felt just slightly bigger. They put a lot of thought in that, and I appreciated that. I also liked the fact that the theater wasn't tucked off at the end of the ship like in most other ships. I like the fact that when we got on the ship, bam, we were right there at the theater, and the theater was like a main attraction or in the main part of the ship, and that it was open. And you could see their rehearsals. There was a bar right there at the theater and everything. I just like the fact that it was open and that it had many levels. Like you could go on 3 different floors and see and sit down and see what was happening at the theater. So I really like that too. I did.
So I'm gonna pause that there. I have been on ships where I've had a hard time finding the theater or where they do the plays. The plays, the entertainment with they put on some good productions. Whether it's a play, whether they're singing, whether it's a production, whatever, you can find some good entertainment on cruise ship, but sometimes it's hard to find them. So I haven't been on the Mardi Gras again. This is my sister's. This is her commentary or her thoughts on the Mardi Gras, and that's her son in the background watching TV, y'all. By the way, but yeah, I would appreciate that too, to be able to find the theater immediately, and it was easy access to it. It was one of the main attractions. That would have been one of the things I would have liked also.
Particularly care that much for the food at the buffet on the decks, but I did like the Shaq's Big Chicken. That was pretty good. You had to get it hot though. I also like that Pig and Anchor place that sold the barbecue. That was really good. The Blue Iguana, I always like that. The pizza on this ship wasn't that great. But their little pressed sandwiches, those were really good. Those were better on this ship than in previous ships. And then also I like the fact that they had a little street eats section, whereas you could get like pot stickers or just like little different. They will offer like different stuff, different things every day. I really like that too. But I didn't like the, like Mama, I didn't like the breakfast all that much. The only thing I really consistently liked with the breakfast was the bacon and what was that? The French toast. But other than that, I mean, everything else was just okay as far as the food. But I did like the fact that there were more places that were included that I could eat besides the guy's burger and the pizza.
So, y'all, food is very important when you go on vacation. And cruise, that's part of the attraction. Is not only do you not have to drive, everything is there for your convenience. You have shopping there, you have entertainment there. Like I talked about the production in the place they put on. They do games. They do, y'all. Those of you who've been on cruise, y'all know all this. And those of you who haven't, yeah, that is the attraction to the cruise. But also, you don't have to worry about where you're going to eat. The food is included. Your accommodations are included. You got the dive-in movies that are included. But food is very important on the vacation. And that's why you'll find that when people are giving a review, they'll talk about the food a lot because, you got to eat. And we enjoy eating. When I went to, one of the things that I didn't enjoy when I went over to Jamaica, I went to Jamaica in April. We flew over and stayed on the resort, is that the food wasn't that great to me at all. I'm talking about what the food was not good for me, but it was only for me. I wouldn't say the food was bad on this resort because everybody else enjoyed it. I and a few others, we had a group of about 40, I guess. I can't remember exactly, but it was a large group of us. And out of the large group, only probably about 5 of us didn't enjoy the food. And I'm wondering if it was more of, because I don't care for Jamaican food and their seasonings, then the food wasn't bad. So that's why she spent a lot of time towards the end on reviewing the food. But I did like that she said there was a lot of choices, even though, that it don't seem like they was too pleased with the food, but there was a lot of choices other than the buffet and in the main dining. When I go on cruises, I like to eat in the dining hall, both breakfast and dinner, because it's not often I get that opportunity with our lives, busy lives. We don't get an opportunity to sit down and have a 3-course meal. So that's why I prefer it over the buffet. But if the food in the dining hall is not good, I will go to that buffet. Now, Guy's Burger Joint, if you ever cruise, Guy's Burger Joint, oh my God, if you like hamburgers, that's the best hamburger you will ever have in your life. Trust me on that. You'll thank me if you like hamburgers. And she named a few other places, choices on there. And then, of course, you have your dining that you can actually pay for, the steakhouses, some of the other, like the Italian places. Maybe there might be a Japanese place that you pay for, but you don't have to pay for the food on the cruise, of course, unless you want to do one of the specialty dinings. So those are the things that she said that she liked about the cruise. My mother was saying, and then we're going to talk about the things she did not like, but my mother was, let me go back over to my mom. That's my mom. That's my parents. My mother was saying that the thing that she didn't like about this cruise was the selection of food was not good. And she had a good time, so it didn't ruin her trip. She did have a good time in spite of that. She was saying the cruise ship, the ship was so large that it lost some of its, I wish I could remember exactly how she said it. It was a bit too large for her. My mother is very social, extremely social. She likes to interact with people. She likes to interact with the crew. And she said, you lose some of the intimacy of meeting people, or if that's the correct way to put it, with it being that large. And you really don't get to enjoy all of the things that it offer on the cruise because it's so large. It takes you a long time. And they were on there for 7 days. So it was a bit too big for her, but she liked it. Both her and all of it, everybody that went was glad that they were able to experience the Mardi Gras. I mean, because you don't know if you like something until you go on it, right? So let's get to the things that my sister did not like. And it wasn't now, it took her 3 minutes and 31 seconds to say what she did like in that review. It only takes 2 minutes and 35 seconds to say what she don't. So
Now, in regards to what I didn't like, this won't be as long as what I did like, but it's really important. I'm glad that I went on the ship, and I'm glad that I went on this big, huge ship, and I'm glad that I finally got to sail on the Mardi Gras, but I won't do it again, and I don't think that I would sail on another Carnival ship that big either. There was a level.
And I did notice that she said Carnival ship. I was on a large royal ship, and I'm thinking it was the Liberty of the Seas. But it's been so long, and they may have changed the name. But I'm thinking it definitely wasn't the Oasis. I know the Oasis is big, but it wasn't the Oasis. But in spite of that ship being large, I really enjoyed it. But I think that sometimes Royal can be a bit more organized, for lack of a better word, then I guess it was another way I could have said something, another word I could have used, but we're just going to say organized. I think Royal is a little bit more organized than Carnival, even though Carnival is my favorite ship. I like Carnival over Royal, but I think that Royal, you can get around better on Royal, even if it's a very large ship. And it's not so much on Carnival, like you hear them saying. Well, you don't hear my mom, but that's one of the things my mom said. Navigating around the ship wasn't as smooth as it was on a larger royal ship. So we being my family, we like large ships if it's royal. But with Carnival, not so much.
Of intimacy, I guess that wasn't there, or personalization that just wasn't there. And I'm not even talking about like the staff, but just the energy and the feel on the ship. Like, there were a lot of people on there, but it still just didn't feel, I don't know, the energy, it just wasn't. I think I just prefer smaller ship.
And let me say, for those of you who haven't been on the ship, and then those of you who have cruise, you can let me know in the comments if you agree. When you step foot, when you get through, being dropped off, dropping off your bags with the porters, doing all the long check in, and then they make your ID, and then you go sit until they call your group, because they group you up, in group 5, group 6, group 7, and then until you get in that lineup and enter the ship, following behind the ship staff, and you take the little picture, and now you are on the ship. And you hear the music, and people are walking around, with the Bahama Mamas and the cruise drinks. When you go on the cruise, make sure you get a cruiser cocktail. But anyway, they're walking around with the cocktail, and you can go eat and all of that. Immediately, people, it's almost like you get on, as soon as you go through all of that and you get on, you don't care about political party, ain't no Democrats, or no Republicans. You don't really care about race. We're all on this cruise. We're all Americans, for the most part. You don't. It's a lot of things that you don't care about class. What side of town you from? You from that side of town. You don't care about. We're all on this cruise to have a good time, and we're waiting for this sail-away party. And so there's a feel of personalization, like my sister said. You get to know people, you socialize with people, because again, you leave all of those things that divide us. Now, this is just my experience. Now, I just messed there. Okay, I didn't mess anything up. There we go. I told y'all I wasn't technical. I'm not professional. You leave all of those things behind, and you're really on a vacation. And so you tend to, even though it's about 3,000 people on this vessel, you tend to recognize people and speak and talk and things like that. And you talk to the staff. Well, they said they felt like they didn't get that good feel, or they didn't feel that energy on this particular ship. Both of them said the same thing, and I think I lost my place, but we'll try to find it.
Now, in regards, won't give me as much space, or probably won't even give me as many, give me as much.
I think we are back.
A lot of people on there.
Okay.
But it still just didn't feel, I don't know, the energy, it just wasn't. I think I just prefer smaller ships, even though the smaller ships won't, give me as much space, or probably won't even give me as many things or to do as on this ship. I think I like the intimacy, though, of a smaller ship, as opposed to a big ship. But I am glad I sailed on the Mardi Gras. I'm glad that I did it, because there's definitely a big difference between the two. Between, a larger Carnival ship and a smaller Carnival ship. And next, I think I want to either, Steve mentioned Virgin.
Okay, so let's she going into her next trip with her husband and her family. So yeah, so that was pretty much. I just thought I would throw that in the video because she was on the ship, I was not. So I'm sharing, from somebody else's point of view because I've never been on the Mardi Gras. Okay, this right here was something I had to show because listen, y'all. As far as nephews goes, my children, they're younger than my sister's kids. The last grandchild that my mother had was my daughter, and she's 22. And then him. Okay, so he's the last one of the grandchildren. And so we're all crazy about him. So y'all can imagine I am crazy about this boy. I think my youngest nephew, I know. My youngest nephew is 29. His birthday was yesterday. He turned 29. Or whenever the 18th was. So that's not my youngest nephew. Actually, my youngest nephew is 2, but my youngest nephew before him is 29. Okay, let me get back to the cruise. So I had to show y'all this because this was my nephew's first cruise. He's in our family. He's got the cruise. We got to throw him on in there because everybody in my family like cruising. You're not in the family if you're like, I'm just playing. But everybody in my family do like cruising. Even like the guys we marry, it's like, okay, you got to cruise, and they get on and they like it. But here it goes. So my mom, they had this harness for him. That's my mother. So my sister was trying to think of, because he's a very very active 2 year old, and he's very smart and very quick. So they was like, what are we gonna do when we go on the cruise? They had to make all these plans about how to keep him safe and that type thing. From how we're gonna keep him safe from getting sick, how we're gonna keep him safe from getting lost, how we're gonna keep him safe from falling. Just different things that you have to think about for those of you who ever took a child on the cruise. So they bought this harness that connects to your wrist, and it's a book bag. I don't think you can really see, but that's a book bag on his back, and then the harness there. And for some reason, he wanted to get to that phone and dial that phone.
You can call. You just love some butts. My grandbaby trying to get me. My, my grandbaby trying to get me to go to the pool. He want to go to the pool this morning. If y'all ever carry a 2-year-old, we ain't gonna get that telephone. Come on. Come on, man. We can't get to the telephone. Come on, man.
Now watch how he try to sneak off.
Come on. You see the boat? See that boat?
So if you're taking a child on the cruise, make sure that
We
you
are
get one
in
of these.
Puerto Rico.
That's my mom saying it.
Don't look tore up to me.
Okay, so
Look
the
all
reason why
right
my
to
mother
me.
is saying that it does not look tore up is because they went when that hurricane, what was it, Hurricane Ivan? So I think Ivan came through the day after they left. They ported out of Canaveral, and then Ivan came through, and they said that it hit Puerto Rico first a couple of days or maybe a week before they went. But she was saying it doesn't look torn up. If you're going on a cruise with a child, make sure you get one of these. You can get one with the, like, my mom doctor was asking her about it, and she was saying you can get the one with the double. My mom's doctor have twins, so my mom was telling her to get the one with the two. I don't know what you call it, harness or whatever it is, that you can put one on both of them and put both of them on the wrist. I don't know how you're gonna walk them kids, gonna pull you down, but yeah, get you one if you're gonna go on or Disney World or any type of vacation. It's just a good idea to have.
Everything good and quiet this morning.
But that is Puerto Rico, and she's
Trey.
on board on the
Here.
ship, looking out,
Trey.
just kind of hanging out with the.
Trey.
And as you
You
can
can
tell, his
pull all
name
you
is
want
Trey,
to.
because he's
We
the
gonna pull
third.
together.
His daddy's a junior, he's the third. Okay, enough about Trey. Enough about my nephew. Let's move on. I can look at that boy all day, because I love him. Is this the same thing? Let's see what's next. So I think on this one, she was showing me, I think they were going upstairs or something.
Good morning, Facebook world.
Yes, my
I'm
mom
getting ready
liked
to go to church,
Facebook.
but I'm gonna do some filming before I go to church. I'm climbing the steps. If y'all hear me below, climbing these 40 steps. Oh yes. Yes.
So I'm gonna skip.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So I'm gonna skip through some.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
That's my dad in in the white pants coming up the steps.
It's the roller coaster up there.
Y'all see that roller coaster? That ship is so large. It has a roller coaster on it. Can you believe that? Now, as y'all could tell, my mom she's like me. That's why I love to talk. But she's a preacher, so preachers love to talk. But she did a very good job sending me videos, sharing with not just me, my other two sisters also that didn't go, sending us videos, narrating, showing us around the ship. So I just pulled out a couple of clips that she sent to us and that she and stole a few off Facebook, that I'm showing with to y'all. So this morning they was taking their walk. My parents are have been married at 56 years old. They're up in their 70s and they are very active and they are very healthy. I mean, my sister and her husband had to go take rest breaks, and they said we'll take the 2-year old, we'll take the baby. Just thank God. I'm just so very thankful for how healthy they are.
Just the water slide up there. Yeah, that roller coaster. You go all the way down to the end of the ship. Yes, son. Let's go watch the service over here. All right,
So that's the Serenity area where my mom they. So this must have been Sunday because she said watch the service. Our church live stream, so we don't never have to miss service because we can always catch worship service on live stream. But anyway, I'm thinking they're up on the Serenity deck, catching the service. This is my dad and my nephew. Now, some may ask, did they ever spend time with their parents? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. But grandparents, they're going to go get that grandbaby. So my sister had, look at him, he just is happy. My sister had, they had a balcony, her and husband and the baby had a balcony room. And my mom them had at Ocean View. My parents are like me. I don't like balconies very much on a ship. Because if you fall off that sucker, you're in trouble. Because, that's a lot of water. I don't care how well you swim. That's a lot of water to maneuver. And I can imagine you go down real quick once you hit it. But that's my dad and my nephew enjoying sailing. And they're just trying to get him used to it. Because when he first got on the ship, he was looking like, I don't know about this. I don't know whether we should be here. So it was good that they were able to sit up in the window. And my nephew can kind of see sailing and get used to sailing. By the time he got off that ship, he was very used to it. He adjusted very well. And as you can see, he's a happy, happy boy. So the Mardi Gras. The Mardi Gras is an excellent class cruise ship operated by the Carnival Cruise Line. The ship, Carnival's lead vessel in the fleet, Excel class, a subclass of Excellence class, and was built in, Finnish shipbuilding in Turku, Finland. And you can see there the length. It was built in 2020. It was built right before the pandemic started. So it was delayed in it getting, I guess, it was launched January 24th. So it was launched right before the pandemic, and then it stopped because, the pandemic, they stopped all cruises. But it was built in 2019, actually. It has 19 decks. It has about just as much decks as the building I work in have floors, but it has 19 decks. That's a big baby right there. And that's just that room is a picture that I pulled off Carnival's site. But that is similar to the room that my sister and her husband had, because they had a balcony room. Of course, their bed was pushed together, but that's very similar to what I saw when I talked to her when she was on the cruise. And that's the room that my parents had with the window that you saw. That's big enough for you to sit up in the window, which I think is neat. Now, my room, for those of you who follow me, I'm going to show you. I ain't going to talk about, like I said, I cruise in about 11 or 12 days. What's today's date? Yeah, somewhere around 11, 12 days. I don't have a balcony room. I don't have that little window. I'm not going to tell you. Some of you who are familiar with cruise, probably if I say I don't have a balcony, and I don't have a suite either. So if I say I don't have a balcony, I don't have a suite, I don't have an inside room, and I don't have the smaller window that you saw that my parents had, but I can see out. Some of you already know what it is. The rest of you have to wait 11 to 12 days. I cannot wait to show you. I cannot wait to see it myself. But once I get in there, I cannot wait to show you my view. Okay. So this is just showing some of the restaurants you heard my sister talk about. There were many choices for dining. A lot of choices and space for dining. That's one of the main dining halls right there. These cruise ships, just their decorations are always just so beautiful, and it amazed me how they can switch up for Christmas, switch it up for Thanksgiving, switch it up for, different times and holidays and things like that. The decor, and I'm going on the day I go on my cruise is going to be on Halloween. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do for Halloween. And they probably do more of a fall theme. Um, but I'm looking forward to seeing that, even though I'm not into Halloween at all. What I hope that don't happen on the cruise ship that I'm on is that they don't be doing any types of tricks. I don't like tricks, and don't be touching me, trying to scare me. It's going to be somebody going, yeah, okay. It ain't going to be good. I think I already showed y'all that one. That's my parents. My parents, like myself, they're very competitive. So they played a lot of games while they were on this cruise. So of course they were shooting pool. I have not been able to beat my dad in all of my years of living. I have not been able to beat him at pool yet. My mom said she won the pool game, but my daddy said she actually scratched. She called the pocket when the black ball fell in, so did the white ball. So he said she lost, but she said that she won because she was down to the black ball. So they'll be arguing about that until next time they play pool. As you can see right behind where my dad is, there's a basketball court back there. When I tell you everything you can imagine is on this ship, there's a basketball court back there. I was on a ship once that had a ice skating rink. That was on one of the Royal, and I'm seriously thinking that it was the Liberty, the Royal Liberty, but it's been so long I can't remember. I think it was somewhere around 2012, 2011 when I was on that ship, but it had a surfing simulator. Like you had the full feel that you was surfing, but you was actually on this little machine thing, and was throwing water at you. You could fall off and everything. And it had a basketball court, but it also had an ice skating rink. So listen, if you haven't sailed before, if you haven't been on a cruise, then it's worth you going at least once. I have found that a cruise is either something you absolutely like or you just don't. I have one friend in particular. Hey, friend, she's probably watching this video. So I have one friend. That's my nephew. Look at him. That's my sister's room. They had, like I said, they had a balcony. I have one friend who went on a cruise, and her experience wasn't that great, but it wasn't the cruise itself. It was the company that she was with. So I'm hoping that she gives cruising another chance. So maybe me and her and her family can go, because I'm really hoping that she will give cruising another chance, because it wasn't the cruise ship fault. So, but yeah, cruising is something that you will either absolutely like or not. In my opinion, there's no in between. You either love it or you don't. Because once you get on it, there ain't no getting you want it. Until they port, you on it. And then even if they port somewhere, let's say if you're going to, Jamaica, you still got to sail back home. So you're on that ship. So you have to be you have to be one that like it. To stay on there for that long, whether it's 4 day, 5 day. They have some 3 days cruising also. I also suggest to someone who's not sure whether they're going to like it or not, do a 3 or 4 day first. Don't go for one of the longer cruises in case you don't like it. I have known of people to go on the cruise and stay in their room the whole time and not come out their cabin at all. They even ordered room service because they did not like it. So that's a long time to be stuck on a cruise. If you don't like 3 days, you can get through that. One of the things that I was told when I first went on the cruise, most of you know, my spouse is he retired from the military, and but even though he was Army, he did what he called catch a ride with the Navy. Sometimes he, catch a ride with the Air Force or take a flight out. But a lot of times, because he was transportation, he would catch a ride. That's the way he said it. So that's why I say catch a ride with the Navy. And one of the things those Navy guys taught him was when you get on this ship, eat. Make sure before we start sailing, make sure you get you a nice full. Your stomach is full. That you're not empty stomach. That's going to help you with the moving and getting used to the moving. You're going to be less. And you would think, well, if I'm full and then I'm seasick, I'm a puke, right? No, if you're full, your stomach is not gonna feel it as much. I guess that's why. Listen, that's the advice that he told me when I went on my first cruise. I did it. It worked. I have never been seasick on a cruise, never. And I always go during the hurricane season, which means the boat is going to rock a little bit more, and I actually like the rocking. I've never had to use, take, or wear anything for seasickness. I've just never had it. But like I said, my first cruise, the advice that he gave me, because he had been on the Navy ship many, many times, is to eat. Make sure that you eat till you're full, and he wanted me to get a bottom cabin. So the first time I cruised, I got a lower cabin. He said that also helped because he said when they used to sail through the Bermuda Triangle, he said that ship would move and almost feel like it's gonna literally flip over, turn circles. That he would go to the bottom of the ship like Jonah. He would go to the bottom of the ship during that time, because hey, he wasn't a Navy man, he was an Army man. So that's what he would do. But anyway, he gave me some good advice, and I've never had any problems with cruising, and I love it, and my family love it. And so while I'm cruising, for those of you, some of you know that since April I have been walking. I try my goal is to walk a minimum of 5 miles in one setting. Now, steps a day. If you look at steps, it's going to be way over 5,000. Did I say 5,000. It's going to be way over 5 miles. But in one setting, like when I go to the gym in the evening and I get on the track, my goal is to walk 5 miles. And so I'm glad that they have a track because I won't have to take a break or get off course. I can get up in the morning, and before I go eat breakfast, and I'm an early riser, so before I go to the dining hall or go get some breakfast, I can utilize this track. There's no reason, no excuse for me not. So I think this track, I don't know what level this is. I want to say the Serenity, but I don't know whether I see children there or not. But anyway, isn't those some nice cabanas? Look at those cabanas, and there's plenty of them. And that was another thing that my family said, that they said it was lots and lots of seating. Sometimes you go out on deck and you have a problem finding somewhere to sit, but they said it was a lot of places to sit, a lot of places for those of you who like to sunbathe to do that. For those of you who like shade, there was a lot of places to do that. Look at that basketball court. This is a cruise, y'all, and up above it you can kind of see the I think there was 2 or 3 water slides on that ship. Just everything imaginable right there on the ship. You ain't got to worry about driving. You ain't got to worry about where you're going to eat. Well, you kind of do have your choice, but you don't have to worry about driving to go eat. If you drink too much, you don't have to worry about how I'm going to get home. You don't have to. If you like to dance, there's a club. If you like shows and plays, there's theaters. If you like to sit at the piano bar and listen to somebody sing and join in singing, there's that. If you like games, there's bingo. If you like casinos, there's a huge casino on there. You can sit in there and gamble till you are broke. They will bring you free drinks if you do it. If you like, what am I leaving out? If you like to watch sports, there is the Skybox. I love the Skybox. I spend a lot of time in the Skybox. You can go to the Skybox. There's about, depending on how big the ship is, there's about 11 or 12 bars or more. Comedy shows. There's 2 comedy shows every night on the cruise. The first comedy show is clean, is family friendly. You can bring the kids, and that same comedian is going to do a show that later that night where you cannot bring the kids because they're going to say some stuff. I saw the best comedian I've seen on a cruise so far. Male comedian is Darren Sanders, DS Sanders, DS Sanders. I think he's from out of Charlotte. And best female comedian I've seen is Thea. Y'all remember Thea from ABC? She had a sitcom show. She's a comedian and she does them on ships, and she is extremely funny, but she is nasty. Her mouth, she is dirty. Her mouth is dirty, but she is funny with it. So yeah, you can comedy. There's places where you could take professional photos. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff I'm leaving out. Everything that you need for your vacation is on the cruise ship, and your food, your accommodations, it's included. Desserts, snacks. If you find yourself hungry at 3 a.m., go and get you a pizza or a calzone. They have food at 3 a.m. So everything that you need. That's why I love cruising. Is right there in one place. In my opinion, cruising is probably the least expensive vacation that you can take, because you get your flight, and y'all know that sometimes you can get you a pretty inexpensive flight. So I'm gonna change this so y'all don't get dizzy. So let's talk about pricing for a cruise, because I always say cruising is the least expensive thing you can do. So let's talk about, and I like to be straight up about my trips, because I ain't trying to flex on y'all and act like I got a lot of money. I just budget and save and make wise choices. So the next cruise I'm gonna go on, my flight I think was $150 round trip, straight through, nonstop, from from where I'm at here in Greensboro to Fort Lauderdale. So that was $156. I don't pay for bags, but if you got to pay for bags, you're talking another $50. Okay, so let's say the airline ticket total $200. Round trip, straight through. When I get there, now we could have flew right into Miami, it would have cost us more, so we flew into Fort Lauderdale. We're gonna have to take the Bright Line train, or maybe my YouTube buddy Dovey will pick me up. But if Dovey won't give us a ride from Fort Lauderdale to Miami, we're gonna take the Bright Line train from Fort Lauderdale to Miami. Okay, so that's $15. So that's another 50. So where we at? 215. The cruise itself, because of the cabin that I picked, was close to $500. Now I really could have got a balcony for $300, but I wanted this particular room, so I paid more. So you can really get a cabin for $300 or $400, to be honest, in most cases. But if you want a suite or this particular room that I wanted, you're looking at $500 or $600. Okay, so where are we at now? We're at I said I'm gonna just round it up to 500. So we're at about what, 250, 750 now. So we're at 750 now. I've flown in. Oh, I forgot my room. So we flying in the night before, because you don't want to fly in on the day of a cruise, just in case your flight get canceled, something happened. So you want to fly in the day before. So we have to get a hotel room. And we're staying in Miami the night before, so that's another $100, because me and my cabin mate, we're sharing a room, so $100 a piece. So where I'm at $850. Okay, we ain't worried about eating. We're not worried about eating. We're gonna eat it. We're gonna eat at the hotel. So we're at $850. So now we're on the cruise. So okay, we got to get transportation from the hotel to the cruise port. That's gonna cost us about $15. So we're at $865. Now, everybody don't have to do this, but because I drink cocktails, it's cheaper for me to get the Cheers package than it is for me to buy drinks individually. So throw in another $350. I'm gonna need my calculator now. Throw in another $350 for my drink package. So we're now at what, 11, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're at $865 now. No, we're at $1165. So we're at $1,165. I'm doing some good math here, y'all. So we're at $1,165. Okay. I'm on the cruise now. I got my drink package. I ain't got to worry about no more alcohol because I done bought it. This includes all my sodas, all my water, all my alcohol beverages. Rather that I don't drink beer or wine, but it does include beer, wine, all the liquor I want to drink. 17, 15, about 15 drinks a day. That's more than anybody need in one day. An unlimited water, unlimited soda, unlimited juice. Okay, so I'm on the ship now. My accommodations are paid for. That was in with my cruise ticket. Everything I'm going to eat while I'm on the cruise, that's paid for. That's included in my cruise ticket. So what else do I need to pay for? If I take an excursion, I'm paying more for an excursion, but you really don't have to. Because when you port, you can find things to do. But if you wanted to, you can throw another $200 or $300 in there for excursions. But right now I'm at $1,165, and that includes my flight, the hotel that I need to stay, because I'm gonna stay overnight the day before the cruise. That includes my flight, my hotel, my accommodations on the cruise, my food on the cruise, my cocktails and my libations on the cruise, my entertainment on the cruise, because I'm going in the club. I ain't got to pay a cover charge to get in the club because the club is included in the cruise. So my point is that everything that you need is right on that cruise, and I'm at $1,165 that I paid for my vacation. So when I get off, I got to pay another $100 because we're gonna stay overnight again. But you don't have to do that. You can get off the cruise and fly on home. But let's say if you're gonna do like me and stay an extra night, so that's another $100. So let's say $1,300. We're gonna call it $1,300. I'm going on a 5-day cruise, a 7-day vacation for $1,300. Cruising is the least expensive way to travel, and you can have the best of the best. Because remember, my cabin, is the special cabin that I'm looking forward to y'all seeing. So I could have got it cheaper. So that's my little spiel and me trying to convince you that cruising is the least expensive way. And to be honest, it really didn't cost me that much to go to Jamaica either. When we flew over to Jamaica and stayed on the resort, I think my flight to Jamaica was about $400. And by the way, go check out Sean Bradley. He is opening up his he does group travel. They just came back from Chicago, and about a month or 2 months before that, they were in Mexico. So he does group traveling, and he is opening it up beyond Club Chat, or I forgot what other name they go by, but he's opened it up more than beyond his followers. So check him out if you're interested in that. But what was I saying? But yeah, when I went to Jamaica, that wasn't expensive either. I think my flight was like $424, $430. And on the resort, we had an all-inclusive resort, and I think I paid about $300, $400 for that. So I think to go to Jamaica I probably paid about $1,300 for that. So traveling is not as expensive as people think. Pay for it, book it in advance, pay for it like a layaway. Like with cruising, you book it in advance, you have to have it paid for, I think 90 days before your cruise. It has to be completely paid for. But if you book it in advance, you have plenty of months to pay for it. You can afford to travel, and travel with groups. It's fun with groups. It's fun by yourself too. But anyway, this video has gone way longer than I thought it was going to go. Just wanted to share. I'm just excited about my cruise coming up. I was excited when my mom went. When my daughter went, you would have thought I was on that cruise with her. I promise you, you would have thought I was on that cruise with her. She cruised out of Norfolk on the Carnival Magic, which is a pretty nice ship. It's not big as the Mardi Gras, but it's a pretty nice ship. They sailed for 2 days, got off in Bermuda for about 6-7 hours, and then sailed for 2 days. I don't know whether I would have liked that or not, but I don't know. I would have liked it. I like sailing. I would have liked it. But anyway, I'm looking forward to mine, and whenever I go, I will share. It'll be better videos when I'm on it, because I'm going to be sharing it with you live and in living color. So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope that you join me on my journey on my cruise. I will try my best. It's so hard for me to film while I'm on, because I'm so engaged in what I'm doing. But I'm gonna really try to show y'all this ship. I'm not gonna say the name of the ship or give any details until I'm actually on it. I don't know why, but that's what I'm gonna do. Anyway, this is Miss Cruiser, who's about to cruise again if all goes well and nothing happens. In just a few, it's just a couple of more weeks. Not, I mean, just like a few more days. This is Miss Cruiser. Please like, share, and subscribe.